Police at Iten police station in KTN district Elgeyo Marakwet are holding a woman who allegedly strangled her 9-month-old child and hid the body. The woman gave conflicting reports of the death of the child. Here's KTN's Wilkista Nyabwa with the details.
Residents of KTN district Elgeyo Marakwet County spent the morning searching for the body of a 9-month-old baby. The 20-year-old mother of the baby had reported that gangsters had strangled her baby and thrown the body down the escarpment.
Mama alienda mpaka Eldoret hospital, kotini Eldoret, kuripoti kwamba mtoto alikuwa amenyongwa na wakora na wakamtupa mtoto kwa shimo. Alafu akaeleza vizuri kwamba huyo mtoto ambaye alinyongwa ako kwa shimo. Tukafika asubuhi, tukafika kwa shimo, tukapata kumbe mtoto alikuwa amenyongwa.
But later in the day there came a twist to the story. The woman had earlier gone to Eldoret police station where she reported that she had been abducted and raped while her child was strangled and the body thrown down the valley. A medical examination carried out at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital found that she had not been raped. She would later admit that she had strangled the child with a shoelace.
Sasa baadaye kumbe mama mwenyewe ndiye anakaa alinyonga mtoto na akasema ni wakora. Sasa tumepata mtoto amenyongwa. Sasa anapelekwa kwa uchunguzi zaidi.
The woman reportedly told police she killed the child because she was tired of caring for her amidst squabbles with her husband. Her firstborn child is now in the custody of her grandparents. Wilkista Nyabwa, KTN.
Now, Deputy President William Ruto returned to the country this morning after the International Criminal Court at The Hague adjourned following a witness hitch. Labour Cabinet Secretary Kazungu Kambi, Senate Majority Leader Kidhuro Kindiki, Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen and Centre for Multi-Party Democracy Chairman Omingo Magara received him at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Ruto and co-accused journalist Joshua Sang pleaded not guilty while at The Hague to charges of murder, deportation and prosecution of people in Kenya's 2007-2008 post-election violence. The Deputy President's lead lawyer Karim Khan faulted the prosecution for its investigations that led to the confirmation of charges against Ruto. But it's a short stay for Ruto in Kenya since he has to return to The Hague by Tuesday morning for the resumption of his trial. Monday is a public holiday in the Netherlands and so the court will reconvene on Tuesday. All girls and women aged between 15 to 49 years are set to be vaccinated against maternal and neonatal tetanus, a deadly disease caused by the tetanus bacteria that enters the body through open wounds, such as the cut end of the umbilical cord just after delivery. Through a campaign launched this morning, girls and women of childbearing age in 38 high-risk districts will receive the vaccine globally. One newborn dies every 9 minutes and thousands of women die every year due to tetanus. The government says that Kenya is among the 51 countries that by 2005 had not achieved the goal of maternal and neonatal tetanus elimination. The Division of Vaccines and Immunization has developed a tetanus elimination strategy to contribute to the Millennium Development Goals of reducing child mortality by 2/3 and maternal mortality by 75% come 2015. The disease can easily be prevented through immunization before or during pregnancy, hygienic birth practices, and proper cord care to ensure that contamination of the cord does not put the newborn at risk. Some of the districts that will receive the treatment include Mombasa, Meru, Trans Nzoia, Kajiado and Eldoret.
All 3 doses of tetanus vaccine. Let me take this opportunity to reiterate that the vaccines are safe, effective and similar to those being used for vaccination routinely in Kenya and rest of the world.
The Salaries and Remuneration Commission chairperson Sarah Serem was astounded when she visited the Elgeyo Marakwet County Assembly only to find that the members had taken off in protest. The members of the Elgeyo Marakwet County Assembly claimed that Serem and her commission have not addressed any of their grievances, which included a salary increment. Serem, however, met with Governor Alex Tolgos before addressing the media at the governor's office.
You ready?
took off from the main visa facilitation body.
If you're visiting somebody in his home and he takes off, it is not our problem. We will proceed to do our job still, but it would have been best. If they have a problem, how do you solve? Do you solve by boycotting? You solve by sitting down and say, I have this problem, you haven't solved it. We need to reach out to each other and understand each other. I think all of us know that solutions come not by either striking or running away from a problem, but it is by facing it.
To single out the challenges that affect Elgeyo Marakwet County. And I think one of them is the issue of transport. As you all know that the infrastructure in Elgeyo Marakwet County is dilapidated, and I think today we've had a chance to discuss this.
The Information Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, has urged residents of Kisii County to embrace information and communication technologies. Dr. Matiang'i said that the national government is ready to work with the county government to promote development. Speaking during the release of the results for the Catholic secondary schools in Kisii, Dr. Matiang'i also called on the Kisii Governor, James Ongwe, to support internet connection in Kisii County.
On matters had called the government and we were more scheme. Finally,
always government or public sector institutions do not have the resources to be able to implement fully the broadband strategy we have as government. We need 100 billion shillings. Now, in the context of all the demands that we have, the budgetary resources may not be available to do that, but we don't need to spend, budget resources. Even the county government actually does not necessarily have to deploy the tax shillings into that. The best thing is to allow the private sector to invest in connectivity, the private sector to invest in moving broadband across the country. And as government, what we are focusing on is a policy that will facilitate the movement of broadband in the country. Extension of broadband in the country is our greatest priority right now, so that we can move broadband as far as possible to ensure connectivity. Whatever ideas we have to drive the ICT revolution, if we do not have broadband moving across the country, we actually are not going to achieve that.
The Garissa County government has launched a headcount to establish the size of its workforce. Governor Nadif Adam assured the residents that the exercise will streamline and improve efficiency and service delivery. The governor says he suspects some of the people on the county's payroll are in fact employees of some non-governmental organizations in the Dadaab refugee camp and also in Somalia.
We even have a HR policy. This exercise, for instance, is supposed to lead us to have a very good morning, everyone. That's really how I want to live at it, and I also I have confirmed the Canada here. I think the point here we want to start evaluating, start auditing our staff on the ground. The intention of this exercise is purely for us as a new county government to know our staff strength. What do we have? Who is on the ground? Because I can tell you there has not been any meaningful data for us to fall on, or even for the board for that to have started their work on.
Police at Dadaab in Garissa County have recovered a gun and 48 rounds of ammunition. The police also arrested one suspect in an impromptu inspection. Criminal Investigations Officer Musa Yego has assured the residents of maximum protection by the government. He's calling on the residents to surrender all illegal firearms.
Wale watu wanapaki na punduki, na tukipata hawa na hiyo punduki wenyewe watakuwa na shida, na wale walipeana pila kulazimishwa wanakaa na jamii yao. So chakuwa ni lao, yule atakaa naye akae naye tupate naye, na yule atapeana hataweza kukabiliana na serikali.
Moving on to the international scene now. Caught on camera, a woman using two small children to steal more than $100,000 worth of jewelry. Here's CNN's Chandra Thomas with a report of the theft at a store in Granite City, Illinois.
This exclusive video tells a shocking story.
Some people came in and decided to take it upon themselves to take a lot of jewelry that wasn't theirs.
Madison County investigators say on August 27th, Janisha Gray went into the Hurley & Company jewelry store in Granite City with two kids, ages 6 and 8, and stole more than $100,000 worth of jewelry. It was the middle of the day, and it was all caught on tape. A family member of the suspect found the stolen goods and told police.
The woman was basically blocking his view so the kids could go back and do what she told them to do.
Owners say Gray distracted them while the two children went behind the counters with bags and took at least 69 jewelry boxes. The owners, who have been at the West Chain of Rock store for 6 years, say they're disgusted, and even more so because the suspect used the kids to do her dirty work.
She would hand them her purse, and then they would take the purse, go back there, and you can see their little hands going in and grabbing jewelry.
At this point, police have recovered $10,000 worth of stolen merchandise, and the owners are tightening up security. In the meantime, police are looking for Gray, who's on the run.
Even if we have to post a video of, buy a TV, put it up on the wall, and just scroll that video of her reaching over the counter helping herself so people can see, look, we got you on camera and you're going to get caught. And to be so blatant about it, I mean, it is.
Moving on to business now. Kenya will soon be able to watch their favorite television shows in real time over the internet as Liquid Telecom's Kenya looks to bring IPTV to the country. Internet Protocol Television, or IPTV, allows television services to be delivered over the internet instead of being delivered through traditional terrestrial satellite signal and cable television formats. Liquid Telecom Kenya was previously known as Kenya Data Networks and is now looking to differentiate itself in the crowded telecom sector and cement its foothold in the country's ICT sector.
So IPTV is something which we have in the pipe. Is East African market, you know, you have to still to build the infrastructure and the brand around it, because this is a more retail service which needs much more planning and programming around it. So that is going to take some time over the next, I would say, 3 to 6 months until we test the market, and we will do a pilot in certain areas, residential areas in Nairobi, and then we will launch it as we move forward.
Moving on to sports now. After the win against Namibia last week, Kenya's Harambee Stars has gone up 11 places in the latest FIFA rankings. Kenya was previously positioned at 126, and the Homeboys have shot up to position 118, shooting up 11 places in the table. Despite going down 4 places, Uganda is still the top nation in East Africa. Ivory Coast tops in the continent, followed by Ghana, then Egypt. Spain is still perched at the first position in the world, even after coming from behind to secure a 2-2 draw against Chile last weekend. Germany are second in the rankings after a series of good results. And after 2 matches, Brazil are now fourth after a 3-1 win against Portugal in a friendly match.